Finally, girls have bigger boobs than me. And it's such a funny thing to say, but it wasn't always true, and it wasn't always like that. When I was 130 kilos, I had this like huge man boob, and I was so insecure about the whole thing that I was either like constantly pulling on my shirt like this, to cover it up, or I would buy like these XS size undershirts to put under my t-shirt or my shirt to push it down, so it's not so visible. And I was even wearing them on a blazing hot summer day. But by today, I finally lost my man boobs, and this is what I'm going to teach you today, how to finally get rid of this man boob that you have, because probably this is holding you back in your life, in your social confidence. Let me tell you, bro, I've come a long way, but this is such a good feeling now to finally take off my shirt in front of people and not be ashamed of my body and not be ashamed of my man boob as well. I don't look like a girl anymore. Girls have, as I said, bigger boobs than me, and this is such a revelating feeling for me. I want you to have the same thing. So let's go into the sciencey, smart stuff a bit. So the smart word for a man boob is called gynecomastia. Say it with me. Gynecomastia. Gynecomastia is absolutely normal for guys in their puberty, so early to mid-teens. This is where guys normally have this like hormonal changes, This is when normally this gynecomastia disappears because your body starts to produce testosterone. This is when your like voice gets deeper. This is where you essentially start to become a man. Okay, now this gynecomastia though can stay with you, and it stay with me. And there are three main reasons for it if the gynecomastia doesn't disappear. The first of all is low testosterone. The second of all is high body fat. And the third is external unhealthy substances. I had the whole trifecta. I had all three. And I'm going to tell you how I tackled these three things in my life. First, testosterone. I made a separate video about it on how I increase my testosterone naturally from 350 nanograms per deciliter to 865. I just had my blood tested, and like my dad was like crazy. He thought I was taking something because my testosterone level is way above average, and it wasn't always like that. So I made a video about it, how I increase my testosterone level naturally. You can go and check it out. But just to quickly summarize, there are non-negotiable things that you have to do in order to increase your testosterone level. These include like sleeping, eating clean, exercise, the things that you would normally think of. But there is this one secret sauce that I found out, and you have to know about it. And this is this winner mentality. Because testosterone is produced when we win. Us men, we need this win in order to have high testosterone. So when is competition? When we are in competitive situations, testosterone goes, and testosterone is like, ooh, I'm now giving you this boost, this motivation for you to perform. Okay? Now, you need this winner mentality in your mind if you want high testosterone. What do I mean by that? When I was fat, I hated myself. I saw myself as a loser. When I would look in the mirror, bro, or when I was meeting someone, I felt that I was not good enough. I felt really badly about myself. But you need to produce this winner mentality in your mind normally. How you can do that? Watch every situation in your life as a learning experience and see how you can improve in that. So, for example, yesterday you couldn't do any push-ups. Today you could do one. Okay, you can say that, oh fuck, I only can do one push-up, but say that, oh, yesterday I could do 0, today I can do 1. This is a win. I'm progressing, I'm getting better, I'm a winner. And by this, normally, testosterone starts to produce in your body. So just pay attention to the things in your life where you are progressing. Give yourself a pat on the back for it, that you are good, that you are doing well, then you are doing the right thing. And then your testosterone will increase normally. Okay, so this is the first thing, high testosterone. The second thing is high body fat. Okay, so everyone tells you, all the internet fitness gurus are telling you how to lose fat, and there are some truth to it, but let me tell you, they are mixing everything, and it just becomes so confusing. Probably you are so confused with all the fucking like diet tips and exercise tips and everything. So I'm trying to tell you what worked for me. Okay, so There is no magic diet. There is no magic meal plan. There is nothing. Each body is different. So you have to figure out what you are eating. So the way to lower your body fat is really simple. You need to take in less calories than you burn off. Simple. Maybe you already knew that. But now when it comes to exercise, well, I was doing swimming and running in the beginning all the time. Just cardio, because these are called cardio, swimming and running. I was doing this constantly. So what happened is I got thinner, I got smaller, I became like this skinny bitch, I got small, but I still had the fucking man boob. And I did not know why. I still had the man boob. I lost 42 kilos and I still had the man boob. And I started to research about it. And the problem was that, yes, I was getting leaner, but I was not building muscle. Okay? Muscle is really important for, first of all, lowering the body fat and losing the man boob. Okay? So, how do we build muscle? We go to the gym. Okay? And we lift weights. Building muscle is good for two reasons. It was good for me for two reasons when I wanted to lose the man boob. The first thing was that if you build muscle, muscle will burn more calories than fat. What do I mean by that? Just by having more muscle, your body needs more calories to maintain this muscle. Okay, so just by sitting and watching this video, if you have more muscle, your body is burning more and more calories and obviously burning more fat. Okay, the other good thing about building muscle is if you lose fat, you probably will have this loose skin. You can fill up this loose skin with muscle. So now, my chest now is quite muscular and I don't have this man boob anymore because I build the muscle to fill up my man boob. How do you build muscle again? You go to the gym, you lift weights. I'm not gonna go really into detail. First of all, there are people who are much, much better than me in this whole regard. I'm just gonna tell you what worked for me. So I started going to the gym 3 times a week and lifting weights. I did the push-pull leg split. Super popular, maybe you already heard about it. What you do is you separate your exercises into 3 days. The pushing day is focused on your shoulder, your chest. Oh, this is what we want, the chest and the tricep. Then the pulling day is then focused on your back and your bicep. And then you have leg day, okay? Leg day is really important. Now we are building muscle and I told you, the more muscle you have, the more calories your body will burn. The quads or your legs in general are the biggest muscle. The more muscle you have on your leg, the more calories you will burn. So please don't skip leg day, okay? I'm gonna probably do a separate video about how to get started as a gym if you're a fat guy like I was, because probably you have a lot of insecurities, you don't really know what to do, and you're just like either confused with all the tips out there, or you compare yourself with these fitness influencers with 6 packs. Going to the gym 3 times a week is more than enough. So what is really important if you go to the gym is, first of all, train hard. So don't be a pussy. Don't hold back and just push every exercise to failure, where you can physically not do anymore. The second really important thing about the whole thing is called progressive overload, which means that if you do an exercise this week, you increase either the weight for the next week or the repetitions. So how many can you do? So for example, this week you could do 40 kilos on the bench press, okay? So for 6 reps. So for next week, you do 40 kilos for 8 reps, or you do 45 kilos or 42.5 kilos the next week, as many reps as you can, sorry. This is called progressive overload. By progressive overload, you are more stimulating your muscle each week, and this is how you build muscle. And the third really important thing, if you go into the gym, focus on the compound lifts, especially in the beginning. Okay, there are compound exercises and there are isolation exercises. Isolation exercises like the bicep curl, which only targets one muscle. But if you want the best buck for your bank, or I don't know how the fuck to say it, or if you want to spend less time in the gym, do the compound exercises, because compound exercises target several muscle groups at once. So you could only do like 3 to 4 exercises and you're good to go. You can spend 30 to 45 minutes in the gym. You don't have to spend 2 hours in the gym. What are the best compound exercises, in my opinion, that you have to do? Squat, the deadlift, the bench press, the dip, and the pull-up. Go look up how to do this. Do this each week. Increase the weight or increase the repetitions, and I'm telling you, you will build a lot of muscle. My personal favorites basically are the squat and the deadlift. I now increase the weight with both the squat and the deadlifts by at least 20% over the last months. And I'm much stronger. So please focus on these. And that is the third thing we have to talk about regarding man boobs, which is the substances and mainly alcohol. Alcohol for me was a really big thing for many years. You know, I was a big beer guy. I was a big booze guy. So when I was going to university, and maybe even before that, so when I was going to high school, I had this like big friend group in both situations. And what we used to do on Friday and Saturday nights is we would go to bars and we would go to clubs and we would drink a lot. And the problem with that was that I was basically destroying my body and was putting all this poison in my body. But also, this brought on some other bad habits. So on the way home, after the club or after the bar, obviously I was really hungry. So I either stopped at McDonald's for a cheeseburger or two, or there was this store that was open 24/7 really close to my place. So I used to buy this like whole pack of bread, you know, go home, put on HBO Max, put on Friends, I would put the phone down and I would eat the whole pack of bread in one sitting, you know? No wonder I was fat. So then came a time in my life, then I was like, let's try how life is without alcohol. If you are trying to do something, you're trying a new habit out, I'm telling you to do at least 30 days. So a 30-day challenge is really good. It's really popular now on the internet. So this is how it started for me as well. 30 days without alcohol. And it was so good. Then I did 2 months, 3 months, and I did fully 9 months without alcohol. Then to realize that I became a completely different person in the whole process. And I basically changed my whole identity and my whole relationship with alcohol. Because first of all, I had more energy, I had better sleep, I had better focus, I had more confidence, higher testosterone, better libido, and this brain fog that I had in my life, it just evaporated. I was like this sharp as an arrow, you know. It was such a good feeling. But more of all, first of all, I had more social confidence because I was not relying on this booze to go up to that pretty girl. I had to build actual true social confidence. The reason I was drinking a lot because I was not confident in my body, so I needed to loosen up. I needed to lower my inhibitions and I needed to just let go of myself. This was a way for me to relax, but I realized that I was dependent on this alcohol thing to bring me social confidence. So I quit all this. And also the other thing that brought up with this, which can sound a bit lonely, to be honest, but I realized who my true friends are. So who are the friends that truly want the best for me and who are just my drinking buddies. You know, the drinking buddies who are just there for you if you are destroying each other or yourself together. So I cut out a lot of people from my life who were just my drinking buddies, and I started to build true friendships that were building me and not destroying me. So if you change your relationship with alcohol, I'm telling you that maybe this is the biggest shift, or for me it was the biggest shift when it came to my fat loss and just in general self-improvement journey, that you are not relying on this external thing to bring you happiness, to bring you confidence. You have to build this on your own and you have to be intact with who you are, because part of the reason I was really fat is I hated myself and I did not know myself properly, and this was a way for me to cope with this unhappiness, this constant unhappiness. If you clear your mind and if you sit with your feelings, then you can truly value and truly learn who you are as a person. You can find out everything there is to know about yourself to progress in life and be a better person and just be a better man in general. So if you found this useful, then I made a PDF of a full free fat loss guide in 6 steps to get you started on a fat loss journey. And check out my other videos as well about sobriety, testosterone, and everything if you want. And I'm really happy that you were with me, bro. And see you on the next episode. Ciao.